Hello and welcome. Today is Thursday, the 28th of March 2024, and it is 7:48 p.m. CET. Let's breathe. We are sitting in circle. It is a circle for peace, and it is a circle to facilitate self-healing. The circle has the shape of a blue heart. It is not a human heart in that sense. The symbol represents all-encompassing, multidimensional, unconditional, pure, ever. Living love. It is emanating. This love, and it is focused on peace. There are many things that are currently being transformed, transmuted, and healed. There is a focus, particularly of the last 100 years, and all those events. However, we are connecting to a timeline of more likely to be 10,000 years or 100,000 years. It's an ancient energy, and we are being taken to beautiful crystal cave that has blue and purple crystals. And there is a particular fire of 3 crystal type stones that actually light this up. And it has the quality and warmth of a wood fire. But this is a particular light, and there are light patterns, like fairy lights all around that. Yeah, it's almost a 360-degree cave, and it opens up. It must be somewhere on a mountain, because the entrance goes slightly up, and you can see the star constellation. It seems to be Sirius and Orion, and apparently there is a Venus portal. It has something to do with this new astrological year, but it has something to do with the April season, and also with the celebration, which is a week after the Easter or New Year or March full moon, and this is the celebration of, apparently it's called White Sunday or Whit Sunday, I'm hearing. And however, in those times that we're connecting to, we didn't follow the 7-day count, or the 8-day count, if you want to see it like that, of the sun, the moon, the Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, and Saturn, and then back to the sun. Okay, the calendar had multi-dimensional layers. We didn't just trace the sunlight or the moon phases, but also certain planetary alignments or stars that are a very natural source of connecting to the elements. Apparently the stars and the astronomy is there all the time. It's just because of the sunlight. And we don't see it until the sun sets. In fact, there were many natural kind of observatories all around the planet, but this particular alignment. Some of us have been around for aeons, and some alignments, particularly with other portals or gates, sometimes don't happen for 7 generations or lasting 100 years. So whatever happened 100 years ago and didn't bring us into peace today or in this year, in this cycle, it is bringing us to peace. There always have been seers and remote viewers, so we always knew of conflicts. But there was also a connection across the globe of special sites. And so there was a network of information available. These were peace posts. However, the reason being that these kind of telegraphic positions were used more to communicate about star alignments, yearly celebrations that were celebrated across the planet, such as the summer and winter solstices and the equinoxes, and then also the moon phases. However, it was also used for harvest and trade and the exchange of innovations. I'm at a time when there was no war. It was unheard of. Life was spent to understand and to create. Human beings excelled at their connection to the planet, and everything was geared towards having a fulfilling, satisfying, and healthy life. There were studies in all areas, whether that had to do with growing up, with cooking food, with growing food, in fact. There were already many water-based food systems. Apparently, the certain pools were used to grow food, and when it was cold in winter, then you could just take these and heat them. A lot of the technology was earth frequency and crystal frequency. Real fires were mainly kept for ceremonies and not so much for having to have the type of, let's say, primitive wooden fire. There were other means to do with the crystals of heating or cooling, and it was a very advanced state of being, and people came from joy and from thirst for understanding and wisdom. Yeah, people listened to everyone who had something to share. Things that were harmful were no longer being used. There was absolutely no reason that animals were used other than for companions. It was clearly understood that any form of life had a connection to a highly vibrating spirit. There was no lack. Well, the opposite, through the exchange and the trade. I mean, people enjoyed learning craftsmanship and any form of art, any form of, yeah, all those things that are natural. Singing and dancing and physical activity and connecting with different forms of nature. It was all so balanced and natural and revered. There was no wastage of anything. Yet everybody thrived for improving their art, improving their way of making things, and on the other hand, Life was not always about doing. There were times of great rest. There were times of celebrations and exchange. There was a lot of water culture to do with different health waters for bathing, for drinking, for growing things, and there was a lot of emphasis on color. And clothes were of a very high quality and very functional and very individual and lasted for a long time. There was hardly any waste. It was all, yeah, creativity also meant that things that were created as a side effect or as a leftover were used in other ways. So energy wasn't wasted. It, there was a connection, a cycle, a circle. Mm. Why are we here today is because we were invited to this peace cave. And actually, there were human beings that were holding energetic vibrations, and they were born with these. It was a skill, but peace was the foundation of this entire planet. So this being emitted the frequency of peace, so it could actually be held and embodied. And there were maybe several beings. However, the emphasis was on everyone feeling safe, and lies were not tolerated. In fact, there weren't any because the way of connecting with other beings to create families and so on was very conscious. It was a very balanced way of life, and of course there were times when one may not sleep because of the observations, but those followed times of absolute rest, and our bodies did not suffer from any pollution. There was no pollution because there was no waste, and so everything that was created in a way was alchemized or used for something else. Yeah, so the question stands in the room, why or what is actually creating pollution right now? Where does it come from? Why does it exist, and is it really true? Who chose this technology that is? So we have gone back to very there's absolutely nothing wrong in utilizing the resources of Earth. If a body can eliminate those things they don't need, so Earth can too. Anyhow, the studies went very much in depth, and the interesting thing is that those that had a talent or an interest shared their information. Reference came from sharing with good for all and using one's talent to, well, one's passion to find long-lasting ways. So why are we here today, and why am I seeing these three lights? Okay, it's 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 really just has something to do with certain alignments, stars or planets, and it's not really anything to do with, let's say, the month of March, because it wasn't the third month that is the new, if you want, false time count. However, where we are at right now, March is the third month in this Gregorian calendar that we're following. Okay. Um, the reason we are connecting with this cave of peace has to do with the vibration of gold that is linked to this new astrological year, in the sense that the egg shape that represents the modern day description, which describes the cycle of life, but actually it is showing our golden aura, or our Buddhic body, or our innate connection to a golden frequency that stands for abundance of all, for all. It also stands for peace. So today it is just the conscious decision in the now moment to drop our whole being into peace. And in connecting to this peace cave, any conflicts have no power on earth anymore. And also the golden energy stands for truth. And truth in the sense is not, how can I say, it's not an ultimate truth. It is the truth of really finding out why certain situations are the way they are on earth right now. And so there will be many things being revealed that take away this veil of keeping humanity as a dumb, fearful, disempowered, traumatized, simple, meaning trying to cover things in just providing those very instinctive things like eat, sleep, and have fun, and the whole money power construct that is really an imprint of this last whatever 4 to 5,000 years, and it's false. So It is about us learning or emanating is us understanding to sense fake untruth and also unlawful in the sense of that we're coming from the natural law, meaning the universal, cosmic conditions. Each being on earth is unique. Everyone has the most important part to play in being here. That's enough. Bringing your puzzle piece to the mosaic of peace and love, and that will squeeze out anyone who has not been sharing truthfully. And it will not be possible in the future to withhold information, to make decisions in the way they're done today. And because of the higher peace vibration, we will have circles upon circles upon circles with intuitively tuned in beings that decide for what is best for all of the beings on this planet. And in being able to share the information in this cyclical way, of how the planets affect all services that humanity needs, there will be a direction of improvement. And it's like these shadow hidden things will no longer be sustained on the entire earth plane. The vibration of all individuals and all beings, and also of the planet itself, of what you may call society, will not tolerate any conflicts, unfairnesses, lies, and so-called crimes. We are able to heal this together with the crystalline structures and the starlight systems, and in beings that are able to look, why would a conscious being do harm to itself or someone else? And we will be able to heal that trauma, and it may well be that this has a connection to solar eclipse and the whole situation with Chiron and Aries, and this all being able to heal the I am, and that the North Node is in there, and that we can decide what direction our future holds. We are not disempowered. So really today's Peace Circle Healing Circle is about the fact that you may want to remember you hold this in your being, and maybe it is a physical point, but actually that one goes all the way to your origin. So wherever you feel your center is or your essence is, and all you need to do is trust that connection. Trust that this is part of your humanity, and trust that no need even to open your mouth and voice it. No need to waste any energy on anything else. Just being aware, acknowledging, being conscious that you are a peace gate, a peacekeeper, a peace ambassador is enough. That is action and non-doing and being. And there's such a huge hunger for this. So there's some very light blue energy coming in, very, very pastel blue energy coming in. So whatever connection is being shared today here, I'm hearing Sirius gate, but maybe I mishear it. This is what my brain puts together about having this tone in my clairaudience. Maybe it is a different. I don't know if it could be Ceres or even another asteroid that I've not consciously heard. from. There is a vertical and horizontal star constellation connecting, and I can't even say if it is something that is in the knowing of the astrologers and astronomers and the Earth body right now. Maybe it's something that is being discovered. However, it's because of these, let's call it, timeline connections. It seems to be that the alignments are a lot more than what is being discussed in this eclipse portal from the last lunar eclipse to the next solar eclipse, and also the conjunction. Basically the entire month of April. And there's something to do with the number 4, 4, 4, 224. Okay, that's 4 times 4. That's a palindrome or something else, but this is what I just heard, but it's probably something that is to do with the way the numbers are presented that is similar. Okay, it's time to stop being mentally involved in this energy and trying to figure it out from the human standpoint, because then it has a lot more to do with feeling, embodying, and actualizing. And there is nothing to be scared of. Peace has already been embodied and seated here. It is just a matter of the workings of the energy that, let's call it, the fake things no longer can exist. Fake meaning it's inorganic. It's not based on galactic cosmic law. With law, I don't mean something a human being has decided these are workings of the solar system we are part of. And it's this universal way of being that supports each other, or that humanity, meaning that it is normal for all of us to be supporters of each other, where our uniqueness comes simply from being here. And so nobody is going to try to push us into a certain direction in any of our beingnesses. Children don't need to learn something. They are simply need to be reassured, feel safe being themselves, and to be conscious of the fact they're co-creating. And many will know this. It's just who knows how many traumas happen until they even can walk or talk or even are conscious that they have a choice. So there will be a very different vibration on Earth once peace is actually manifesting itself in the global landscape. And as was shared, it is an inner conscious decision. And with that, that is the fountain of all of your words and all of your actions and all of your beingness. Simply being here, breathing, has this ripple effect, and it doesn't need to take millions of people. There were times when very few beings upheld that, so Earth and humankind could carry on existing. Whatever distortion, whatever entered into this realm, that what we call the shadow or the negatives or the fear-driven has no longer any breath here. So I'm going to close, as this is rather a lot of impact on the physical body, and I really thank you for sharing this, and thank you for listening. There were a lot of changes going on the last weeks that I did not have the physical strength to open up and tune in, and so I'm very thankful I could do this right now. Your breath is the breath of peace, so there's no need to change anything about this energy, as it will be here the whole time. So feel free to tune in whenever there may be the need, and this is basically a peace circle of empowerment, of realization that our consciousness is that. So wrapping this home into this peace circle with this blue heart symbol, and wrapping all our planet into it, every single being on here, and also our entire solar system. In fact, everything we that makes up our horizons. So whatever is in your consciousness, we are all placing everything into this peace heart healing circle. And thank you for listening. Thank you for being part. Thank you for allowing me to share, and I'm grateful to that what nudged me to tune in and also to anchor this peace energy here. It's very reassuring. Thank you for the connections and the visions and all those peacekeepers, peace ambassadors, and peace workers, and peace bringers, and peace embodiers, and peace beers that connected with me today. Thank you so much for that. I'm so absolutely joyful for the shared impressions. There is really not more left to say. Peace is now. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This is Blue for blueroom.org. Thank you.